We'll do it live. Oh, hello and welcome to What We Talking About with Jamie Jakes. I am him, and we are here to make you guys some money. It is our weekly segment of Idiot versus Insider. I, as always, despite my championship winning season, am the idiot. My name's Jamie. This is NFL Insider James. Thanks for joining us here again, buddy.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, excited to be back on. I'm surprised you don't just have the belt wrapped over your shoulder right now. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh, you mean this whole thing?
Pause for dramatic effect. Yes, that thing.
Oh, you mean this little thing right here, this title? Regular season champion, James, 10-3 against you every single week. If this is your first time joining us, James presents us with a slate of bets for the upcoming NFL slate. And I have a force bet. I either have to agree with him, disagree with him, or pivot on that game at the end of every week. Whoever wins the most units is the champion of that week. I am 10-3 against you this week after a winning week that I had last week of 4-2. And that was enough for me to clinch for the regular season. Now, we will have 3 titles on this podcast.
Yeah.
A preseason, a regular season, which obviously is the most coveted, and a postseason championship, including the Super Bowl. So, James, you still do have an opportunity to win yourself a bet or a belt in the championship, the playoff round, but going to be difficult for you to, I think, take the preseason. I think I'm doing all right. We'll see.
It's really just going to come down to that Coach of the Year bet at this point.
You need Sean Payton to come through for you because I think I'm beating you on the over-unders last time I checked, or trending towards that direction.
I don't remember which ones you did or didn't agree on. I think right now I'm looking live on 6 out of 8 of them. I think only 2 in the water as of now.
Yep. I think those Giants are going to come through.
I'll win the next 3 games, and I'm really good.
But. So we do have bad news coming off of this week. Lock of the week is down to 7-5. The 2 games that we talked about, we had the Packers, but it was Thursday, and it felt like cheating because it was a separate episode that we did. We did a Thanksgiving Day special where we went 1-1-1 or 2-1, depending on what number you got on the first game, because 3 cashed the first half, whatever. Anyways, Thanksgiving Day, we did all right. And we wanted to take the Raiders at +12, the Packers, or we wanted to take the Browns. We took the Browns. You had the money line. I had 6. Maybe it was worth it for the clip that we got on Instagram. It's got like, I think 40,000 views right now.
People have been arguing in this comment section about what is or isn't a spread and how do you win a spread.
I love that. It's like, what do you mean this is for the game? It's like we literally have the +5.5 band
highlighted in the middle, and you
literally sparkles but going on behind it. Like
Jamie can win his bet. Is like literally the
give you context for what we're talking about here. Anyways, I love Instagram. We just started to kind of pick up on Instagram for no reason. I love the Instagram folks. I love the comments. Some of them are very, very funny. Some of them are roasting us in a very funny way, and I do appreciate that. I don't know if you've seen a few. We did have the skinniest Blues fan in the world on the couch for that clip as well. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that comment. I saw the typical Brown fan, which made me laugh.
Yep. We are typical Browns fans, and we were cheering on for our team. The rest of the week 13 recap or for that Browns game. The funniest part about that is my handicap. I was saying Jameis Winston has actually done a great job protecting the ball. At the time, he had like 3 or 4 interceptions through 171 passes, through 2 pick sixes and an interception in that game. So I don't know. I want to call it a bad beat, but what did we expect, James? We put our money on Jameis Winston. So
man, that would have been
can't get too upset about that.
If they had gotten that last touchdown, it would have really gotten interested. There would have been an onside kick at minimum.
Yeah. Well, we should have covered. But anyways, we'll move on. We'll take that L. We'll wear it off of a winning week that I had. So I'm not going to complain too much about it. Speaking of winning, Chiefs at the Raiders. I had 12.5. You felt good about it from kick. Any thoughts about that game, James?
I'm surprised that the Chiefs didn't score more points. But I'll be honest, I watched about 1 minute of that because I was bar hopping around Tuscaloosa all Friday. So Didn't get much time
Friday.
to watch the game.
I'll be honest. I had it on in the background. I wasn't super enthralled by that game either. I was watching with one eye. I'll tell you that much. You flip flopped on the Patriots, and I flip flopped on the Patriots. Bet against them last week. Bet on them this week. They cover and cover for me. You bet on them last week and against them this week, and they lose and lose for you. So are you in shambles? And how are you feeling about this Patriots and the Patriots performance that they had this week?
I mean, 1 point was brutal for sure.
Yep.
I really expected the Colts to do a lot better in that game. I think that's more a reflection on the Colts than it is a reflection on the Patriots, if I'm being honest.
Yep. I agree.
Drake May leading this team. Patriots are gonna be at least trying to win games down the stretch here to get him some W's under his belt, I'm sure.
Yep. Yeah, my whole handicap on that game was like, these Colts are soft. They're not going to be able to play in the cold. And they kind of did. So, but at the end of the day, they didn't cover. So
no.
What have you done for me lately? Eagles, Ravens. We told you exactly how that one was going to go. You had the under 50.5 cashed easily. I had Eagles +3. They win outright. I think the takeaway for that game is the AFC North just maybe isn't that good, James.
That, or, at the end of the day, the Eagles might be the most stacked team of all time. I don't think so. A highly I don't know. I don't think I can name a team in history with this many weapons unless we go back to like the Tom Brady Patriots
or the Detroit Lions. Anyways, moving on, James. Bills cover for me. Bills cover for me easily. Brock did play despite what I thought. I didn't think he was going to play. With that being said, should he have? Looked pretty bad.
I got Brock playing right. That's the only thing I got right in that game.
Yeah. Bills were just too good for the Niners. They covered that 7 points easily for me, despite a nervous first quarter for me. I will say, watching Brock Purdy trot out there and kind of move down the field pretty easily. That was the only time he moved down the field very easily that game. Panthers cover. I picked the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield goes down in the game, throws a pick off of the bench on his first play on 3rd and 1. They're like, we're going to pass it. Good thinking. I thought that was a questionable decision. So the Buccaneers don't cover for me. You had the Panthers money line, James.
Dude, that Chuba Hubbard fumble was the craziest thing. I thought I'd won the bet when they scored that touchdown with Adam Thielen. I was like, there's no way they go kick a field goal. They go do that. Somehow they missed the field goal in overtime. I'm like, this is it. We've got it. There's a chance. And Chuba Hubbard fumbles that ball, which again, I was driving back from Tuscaloosa that day, so I didn't watch any of these games. I listened to the radio of all these games, which is even worse to have some old man in a booth telling you what's happening on the field. Chuba Hubbard gets the ball, and then the next thing all you hear is, oh no. And you're like, what's happening? I have no idea. And then you find out like 3 minutes later that he fumbled it.
Feels like you could just watch our live streams and understand what's going on a little bit better than I have. I've been a defender of Collinsworth and stuff, but after having done these live streams, doing play-by-play for about 2 years now, I'm like, some of you guys just suck. And it's really frustrating to watch the game, let alone listen to it on the radio. I feel like we do a pretty good job of painting a picture where you can watch us without actually watching the game.
Sirius XM, our lines are open. We're more than happy to do a Sunday at
Honestly, Sirius XM, give us a call. We'd probably do good for you. Moving on.
Compared to these people, oh my God. Some of them make me just want to tear out my hair.
Yeah, it's a tough listen sometimes. Let's get into this slate, James. Enough talking about the past. Let's go on to the future. All right. Thursday night, Packers at Lions. Lions are 3-point favorites. I saw it early open at 3.5. The over-under high at 51.5. There's a big narrative that Lions are too banged up on defense to even compete anymore. They might as well just quit. They might as well just mail it in for the rest of the season. Lions season, good run. They're 11-1, but their season's over. They're simply too banged up coming off of a Thanksgiving Day win, the first one in a while, if you're a Lions fan. Game against the Bears where they fire their head coach after. What do you have on this one, James?
I tried to do some statistical deep dives on this one, and I said, you know what? There's only one thing that matters here. It's a divisional game. It's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. I'm taking the under. I think the under is far too high. Love that 51.5. I think it's too high. We've seen it from the last 2 weeks of Detroit for me. I love betting the Detroit game under right now. So I'm going to take it.
Yeah. So James, I love that. When you first showed me this game on the slate, I knew it was going to be on the slate. Let's be honest. You were going to make me pick Thursday night, but this is not a Thursday night game. This is effectively a Sunday night game. So if you're betting on this under, which I love, when you first sent it to me, I was like, I'm definitely betting the over. Lions defense banged up. You know, the Lions offense is going to be able, they're like the healthiest offense in the league that nobody's talking about. And I think the Lions will be able to move the damn football here. And I looked at that over and I was like 51.5. No way. No way, James. So if you were betting an under on a game, James, and the over under was really, really high, what would you want one of the defenses to be ranked in the NFL in terms of EPA per play?
Probably in the top 5, I would say.
Top 5, the Lions are still 1. Okay. I get it. They're banged up. They're still number 1. They're still the best defense in the league per EPA per play for season long. The Packers, by the way, I think are like in the 9th range. What's not getting talked about enough on the Lions side of things, Carlton Davis is back. That's going to be huge. He's really burst onto the scene as a corner, and it's been kind of low key because he hasn't had a ton of big plays, but I think he has a couple of interceptions already. So it doesn't really make sense that nobody's really given him the credit he deserves, because the biggest deficit we had on this team was on that corner position, because we lost Rakestraw, our 2nd round pick, and we had Terry Arnold down when Terry Arnold came back in. Guess what? They're still great. They're great again. 2 best safeties in the league. And they sign a guy. Tell me if you ever heard of this guy, James, named Jamal Adams.
Oh, I feel like that guy is not good at inputting keypad. What I remember. Just locked up.
He'll be wearing number 25 for this team, James.
Barry Bonds.
Word on the street, I got boots on the ground up there in Detroit. I think he's starting.
Whoa.
Okay? I think he's playing. I think they're going to gas up Jamal for this one. Where do you think he'll play, James? I don't mean to put you on the spot. He's a safety, Pro Bowl safety. Where do you think he's going to be playing?
I mean, I'll be honest. Back in the day, I used to like to throw him in the nickel and the star position and then just have him blitz all the time.
I was thinking about that too, but I think you might be interested in the better option, James.
Probably strong safety, I would assume. I mean, right?
Oh, okay. Well, they already have the best free safety in the league. They have the best strong safety, do anything defensive back in the league right now. 2nd year out of Alabama, named Brian Branch. James, how good is he at football?
I like him. He's pretty good.
Oh,
I remember a lot of great things about him.
What position did he really play in college, though? He was a safety the whole time, right?
No, if you know one thing about a Nick Saban defense, we got that nickel star position that Nick puts the best athlete on defense on every single year.
Oh, and they got a pretty good coordinator over there, Aaron Glenn in Detroit, don't they?
I think that guy is pretty good at calling up schemes. I mean, if you're first defense in the National Football League, you should be good at that, right?
Lose your best player in like week 3 of the season. So, and the defense just gotten better, James, huh?
Pretty good.
Most healthy offense. Decker's out, but who cares? Got depth at that position.
Next man up.
Let's be real. Okay, McBride, Zadarius Smith, really, really good on the defensive line of things. Jack Campbell holding it down in linebacker. If he goes down, we're in trouble. I'll be honest. If Jack Campbell goes down, linebacker position for the Lions is going to be pretty, pretty bad. But when you got Jamal Adams on the team now, I think he's just playing every snap. And we got Brian Branch going wherever he wants to, or wherever Aaron Glenn wants him to be. That sounds pretty sweet. Kirby Joseph, like I said, best safety in the league right now. The offense is super duper healthy and super duper explosive when they need to be. They haven't really been pushed a lot later this season. They've been kind of just running out the clock in the second half of the season, but they got off to some slow starts early on where they were like 2 scores down in the first quarter and fought back for wins. So this offense can really support the team. The way
play linebacker if you need it. Let's just be
exactly and they might use them like that. The way they're talking about this game is like, oh, these Packers are so healthy. They get a longer injury report than the Lions do. And granted, we got a few guys on IR or whatever. I'm sure the Packers do too. But they've got cluster injuries at cornerback OL. I expect a lot of them to play. But Josh Jacobs has a damn calf injury, and that's not good if you're a running back, right, James?
Nope. Romeo.
That's like
Dobbs.
one of the most important muscles when you're a damn running back.
Lions home field with his knee.
That's kind of yeah, exactly. Lions home field worth 2.5. Would you agree?
I would put 3.5 this year.
Oh, okay. So if you really believe 3.5, James, then to not like this game, you would say these teams are even. And I think this Detroit Lions team is at least 1.5 better, probably 2 or 2.5 points better than this Packers team as we're sitting right now, as they're still the Vegas odds-on favorite to win the damn Super Bowl, James. So let's be honest. So I think Vegas agrees with me here. And the line already moved from, I think, 3.5 to 3, which is like a big 0.5 point. So I'm just going to take Lions here at -3, James. And I hope the Lions pulled this off so I can just rub it in all of those pussy Lions fans on X talking about how the season's over already. You're fucking 11-1, James.
I just hope the Packers continue to lose so Brett Favre can hate his life.
I would love Brett Favre to hate his life too. Moving on to the next game, James. So we're going from a really, really good game to even better with the Jags and the Titans.
Exactly.
The Jags are 3.5 point underdogs at Tennessee. Over under is set to 39.5. Trevor Lawrence I don't think he's been announced, officially declared out, but he'll be out of this game. Mac Jones under center. 5 wins between these two teams this whole season, James. It is week 14. What do you got on this one?
Heisman runner-up Mac Jones, I think is what you meant to say.
That's what I meant to say.
Just going to put that one out there. Really very obvious on this one, I think, if you just look at the analysis here. I use PFF, as we always like to talk about here. I'm a PFF guy. Here's what PFF has about these teams, right? Jacksonville, 23rd best offense. Tennessee, the 32nd. But Tennessee's got the 21st defense. Well, Jacksonville's got the 26th. I think this is one of our classic coin tosses. And you know me with the coin toss, I like pluses. And Jacksonville is plus 165, which would insinuate quite a big edge as compared to 50-50 as I have it. So I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm taking that money line.
Okay. That's an interesting move, James. So I have the defenses, by the way, because that was a big part of my handicap, because I think these offenses are pretty Spider-Man memey, especially when you calculate in Trevor Lawrence being out and former Heisman runner-up Mac Jones being not as good as Trevor Lawrence. James? Okay. Okay. Say what you want to say. Say what you want to say, buddy. I don't think I'm not
that much of a homer. I agree with you.
Okay. All right. 13th ranked defense versus 32nd ranked defense is what I got from my metrics on the pro.
On stats.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But like you said, both offenses are bad. The Titans are second worst. Jags are 9th worst. But I think that gap is going to get bridged by former Heisman runner-up Mac Jones. Trevor was averaging 7.2 yards per attempt. Mac Jones averaging 5.6 yards per attempt. So that's just like one little indication that maybe Mac Jones isn't quite as good as Trevor Lawrence is. Titans fans actually kind of impressed me the last game, and we kind of argued about it, and I kind of poo-pooed so I was listening because I was talking shit, and they were pretty good home crowd. Those sorority sisters and the whatever that
go hard. And if you really mess up, Morgan Wallen might throw a chair at you from the top sections.
That's right. They get wild over there in Tennessee. So a Titans fan, I will give them 1.5 points for home field now. So because of that, I just think we got a massive delta in the defenses in this game with a backup quarterback over there in Jacksonville. So I'm just going to take the Titans. I have this closer to like a 5-point game. So I'm going to take the Titans at -3.5, James.
Wow. I think based off of that, I don't think we're going to have an agreement all day. This is going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I feel like we'll have to agree. We'll have to agree to pivot on the Thursday night game is probably what we're going to have to do, isn't it? Falcons. Falcons, you're hot on Thursday night, so we're good. Falcons at Vikings. Vikings are 5.5 point underdogs. The over-under set to 45.5. Falcons 3-game losing streak. Right after we called them frauds, they just started losing, so that was good news for us. Vikings can't lose no matter how hard they try. What do you got on this one, James?
All right, so this one was pretty interesting. Atlanta and Minnesota were both ranked relatively even on offense and defense on PFF. So not really much I could take from that. Rushing, Atlanta's one of the top teams in rushing. Minnesota also one of the top teams in rushing defense, though. I was like, oh, okay, no advantage there. Minnesota's best strength of their offense passing. Atlanta's one of the best parts of their defense is pass coverage. So these teams seem relatively even. So there's only one thing that you got to look at here. It's a Kirk Cousins revenge game. He wants to win this game.
Okay.
Job on the line.
That's a good point.
Job
I
on the
think
line.
about that.
Minnesota Vikings revenge game. Give me the Atlanta Falcons and give me the money line plus 200 on the Falcons this weekend.
You stinking son of a gun, James. A plus two what bet, James?
Plus 200. Plus 200.
Plus 200. Okay, on the Falcons. Yeah, this one was a tough one for me to handicap as well. So the first thing I thought is like 5.5. That's a big spread for the Vikings to cover. Have they covered those big spreads, or have they won by margin a lot this season? The answer is yes, outside of their division. So obviously Falcons outside of their division, they can beat those teams by a whole lot of points. Historically, we've seen so far. Can the Falcons lose by those big margins? The answer is yes as well. They have laid a few massive Falcon eggs on a couple of football fields so far this season. Like I said, frauds. I think we were on to that when they were what are they now? They're like 6-6 now. When we were talking about, they were 6-3, I think, and they go on a 3-game losing streak. Both teams can't run the football. The Vikings Elite D, they're third in EPA per play. Falcons are 24th in EPA per play on defense. Vikings EPA per pass with no pressure. What do you got to do to stop Sam Darnold, James? Pressure.
Gotta put him under pressure. Yeah.
I got bad news for you and your Falcons, buddy.
Oh, no.
Second worst pressure rate in the NFL. When not under pressure, the Vikings are third best in EPA per pass compared to every other team under pressure per play. Give me the Vikings to cover this big spread at home, 5.5, James.
Wow.
Sorry about it. Sorry to inform you that you're losing that bet.
Wow.
Moving on to...
Only one thing you should know, and that's bring as many chains as possible to Minnesota, because Kirk's going to be wearing all of them on the plane back home.
He's going to walk into that trap, James.
Take over your trap.
I don't know about that. Next game, Jets at Dolphins. Dolphins are 6-point favorites. Another tough game for me to handicap, James, but I got a winner on this one too. The over-under set to 44.5. Rodgers done in New York after this season. Will he go to the Browns? Will he go to the Raiders? Who knows? The Dolphins get slaughtered in the cold, but I got good news if you're a Dolphins backer. High of 76 for this one, James. What do you got?
Oh, man. Well, there's a lot of things that I tried to look at for this game, right? Is Aaron Rodgers even going to care? Is he going to play?
He's an enigma, James.
There's one thing that I know about him, though. He likes his ayahuasca. And ayahuasca is produced in South American countries.
Okay.
Where does the majority of South American products enter the U.S.?
Via Mexico.
Miami. Very simple paradox here for the Jets. Tell Aaron Rodgers that he can get a whole container load of ayahuasca if he wins this game.
Okay.
And he's going to ball the fuck out. So I've got the Jets.
Okay.
And I don't have them just on the spread. I've got them on the money line at plus 220, baby.
You're just trying to set records.
Plus money. Let's go.
Okay. Jets money line, James. I don't hate it. I do like this being a high-scoring game. Tua at home, post-concussion, averaging 31.7 points per game. Jets offense 25th in EPA per play. Jets D very average at 14th in EPA per play. Asking the Jets to score 13 points in this game. If you tally in 31.7 points for the Dolphins, all I need out of those Jets is like 12.7 points out of them. That's all I'm asking for. Okay. They've got explosives on that team. The Dolphins defense ain't shutting anybody down this year, which they scored They scored over 13 points in pretty much all of their games this season outside of the Cardinals recently. So I get it. Like, they can lay an egg on offense. The only team Dolphins held to below 13 is this season is the Jacoby Brissett led Patriots. So, and that's give me the over. The Dolphins are going to score 31.7 points against these Jets. The Jets will score 15 points. I think this over under team total is just a little bit too low. I think it should be like 47. So give me the over, James.
All right. I like that.
So that one we could pivot to. Is this the last one, James?
We've got two more. We got Saints,
two
Giants,
more.
Chargers,
Okay.
Chiefs.
Cool. So Saints, Giants are at home getting 5 points. The over-under set to 40.5. This was announced Drew Lock game. And I literally have in my notes that Drew Lock is way worse than DeVito, but I expect Dable to make the wrong decision and start Drew Lock. That news broke today. Saints do also lose Taysom Hill. Not good, James. Go ahead.
Wow. I mean, I don't know about wrong decision. Drew Lock is a magnificent quarterback. Don't know what you're talking about. I'm tired of you disrespecting Brian Daboll on this podcast. So I looked through a lot of metrics on this one. Saints have the second worst defense, according to PFF.
I got them pretty similar.
I was like, ooh, that's not good. They do have a good offense, but Taysom Hill being out, ooh. So we've got a team at home with plus money. And I'm not taking it. I'm taking the over. I like the over in this game. I think both of these teams are both of these teams are collapsing. They're horrible. Nobody's going to care. They're going to score a bunch of points. Brian Daboll is going to kick a field goal with the score at exactly 39 points total. He's going to kick a field goal when he doesn't need to make it 42 and help me win this game because I've got his number on lock and he continues to help me out with those spreads. So in this case, he's going to help me with the over. I'm taking it over 41 in this game.
Give me the under, James. Give me the under, and here's why. Taysom Hill's out under 40.5. I know it's low, okay? Taysom Hill out. He's their whole offense, their entire offense. He is averaging 7.1 yards per carry, okay? Wow. He'll be out. They're not going to be able to run the ball. Saints rank 22nd in EPA per pass offensively. I get it. Both of these defenses aren't great. Saints, second worst team in EPA per run, like you said, and that's with Taysom Hill bolstering their run yards per carry. Mm-hmm. Giants have Tyrone Tracy averaging 5 yards per carry, which makes me lean towards the Giants a little bit. But I just think the Giants will run the ball like 50 times. They're not going to be able to pass. And if DeVito was in, I'd take the Giants. So maybe that's a live bet if Drew Lock gets pulled early. But okay. I'm gonna take the under 40.5, James.
Wow.
Okay. Going on to the last one.
Wow.
We'll see if we agree on this one. Chargers. You have to agree with me on this one, James. Chargers at Chiefs Sunday night. Gonna be a great one. Another Harbaugh game here. Chiefs are 4-point favorites. Over under set to 42.5. What do you have on this one, James?
The way you said that makes me think we're maybe disagreeing. I have looked at these schedules, and I really looked at what has been happening recently between these two teams. The Chargers put up 23 points against the Baltimore Ravens. Decent amount of points against a decent defense. They also put up 34 points against the Bengals, a team that has a high-scoring offense and doesn't take a lot of time of possession. The Chiefs recently at home, though, 19 points at home and 16 points at home are their last two games. So I had to think about this one pretty hard. And the one thing that I got to think about was Andy Dalton had extra time to think about this game and think about the offense. I think the Chargers are going to put up points.
Andy Reid.
Yes. What did I say?
Andy Dalton.
No, no.
It's like Andy Dalton's in this game.
He's thinking about this game, though. Andy Reid has had extra time to think about this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that means he can throw in a couple extra wrinkles on the offense. I think the Chargers are going to score points no matter what. But I think with that extra time, the Chiefs are also going to score points. And because of that, I have the over. Over 42.5.
So this is an extended weekend. Andy Reid off of a bye is really good. I don't know if Andy Reid off of a Friday night is historically that great. But do you have over 42.5, James?
I do.
Okay. That's interesting. Like you said, Chiefs home field. At home, Chiefs are 8th best offense in EPA per play. Chiefs at home defense, 21st in EPA per play. Pretty crazy. Are the Swifties not loud enough? What's going on over there in Kansas City? Supposed to have a great home field advantage. They don't this year. Mm-hmm. Chargers away offense ranked 22nd in EPA per play. Chargers away defense rated 2nd best.
Oh, no.
In EPA per play. Not good if you're betting the over, James. Chargers are 7th best in point differential. Chiefs are 11th with a 18-point delta there.
Wow.
Okay. Like I said, Chiefs are frauds. Turnovers differential. Chiefs are 22nd in the league. Chargers are 3rd best. Chiefs are frauds. They're not good enough to beat this team. Lad McConkey, white guy. Give me Chargers on the road to cover 4 points, James.
I'm more than willing to agree with that. Yeah, actually. Chargers +4.
Lock of the week.
I mean, lock of the century?
You don't want to argue about anything else? You just want to take Chargers? I guess that was part of your handicap, right? Was just high scoring game.
Yeah. I mean, most of my handicap was thinking the Chargers are going to score a decent amount of points, right? I still think the Chiefs are going to score some points, but again, you're getting +4. You know, I can't talk you in a money line bet, unfortunately. But yeah, the Chargers +4, I think, is a good one. I think I could also pivot on the Packers-Lions game to a Lions spread.
Thursday night. We'll be live streaming that one. I don't think I need my emotions heightened on Thursday night, though. I think I'll be pretty emotional, I guess would be the right word for it.
Or we could do something that's never happened before and take a game that's off the slate.
No, we can't do that as a lock of the week. Let's do Chargers. Sunday night, right? No Monday night this week. Sunday night, Chargers +4.
+4.
Lock.
+175 is also there.
Let's do lock of the week +4, James, and we're gonna try and get off that schneid that we're on, sort of, right? What are we, 7-4? So lock of the week, still doing all right. We're still doing all right. I'm doing great. Yeah. 10-3 against the sports books.
2.8 units on it. Come on.
Yeah. My name's Jamie Jakes. Thank you guys for joining us. James, thank you as always. Try and get this uploaded as soon as possible. No promises. Probably not going to be very timely video today, especially with the editing I'm having to do with the Wi-Fi issues we had. But thank you for joining us. Everything you say to the audience?
No, nothing to say to the audience other than shop your lines, as we always say, and make sure that your bookies pay you out, because my bookies don't.
And as your champion, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. We'll see you next time.